She gave 2 runaway boys shelter for one night. Then their father called and said, "You have my sons." The knock came at 11:47 p.m. 3 sharp taps. Then silence. Claire Monroe stood in her kitchen, one hand still gripping the dishcloth, the other frozen halfway to the counter. She lived alone in this cabin, 15 miles outside Riverside, Montana. No neighbors. No streetlights. Just pine trees and darkness. Nobody knocked at midnight. Not here. She didn't move. Her pulse drummed in her ears. 3 more knocks. Slower this time. Deliberate. Claire set down the cloth. Her hands were shaking. She walked toward the front door, each step careful, quiet. Through the small window beside the frame, she saw them. 2 boys. One looked about 12. Dark hair, pale face, eyes too wide. The other was younger, maybe 7. He was half hidden behind his brother, shivering in a thin jacket. Claire's breath caught. She opened the door. Cold air rushed in. The older boy stared at her. He didn't speak. His jaw was tight, like he was holding something back. Fear, maybe. Or something worse. "Please," he finally said. His voice cracked. "We need help." Claire looked past them. The dirt road behind her cabin was empty. No car. No lights. Just wind moving through the trees. "Where are your parents?" she asked. The boy's face went blank. "Gone." The younger one started crying. Soft, broken sounds. Claire felt something twist in her chest. She'd been a social worker for 6 years before she moved out here. She knew what running looked like. She knew what fear smelled like. She stepped aside. "Come in." The boys sat at her kitchen table. Claire gave them hot chocolate and bread. They ate like they hadn't seen food in days. She didn't ask questions yet. She just watched. The older boy, his name was Ethan, he told her quietly, kept glancing at the door. Every few seconds, like someone might come through it. The younger one, Lucas, didn't speak at all. He just held his brother's hand. Claire sat across from them. "How long have you been walking?" 2 days, Ethan said. 2 days? From where? He didn't answer. His eyes dropped to the table. Claire leaned forward. Gentle. Not pressing. "Ethan, I can help you. But I need to know what happened." He looked up at her then. And for just a second she saw it, something old in his eyes. Something no 12-year-old should carry. "Our father," he said slowly, "isn't a good man." Claire's stomach tightened. "Did he hurt you?" Ethan's jaw clenched. "Not us." Silence. Lucas started shaking again. Claire reached across the table, her hand hovering near his. "You're safe here. I promise." Ethan's voice was barely a whisper. "You don't know what you're promising." She let them sleep in the guest room. 2 twin beds, clean sheets, a lamp on the nightstand. Lucas fell asleep almost immediately. Ethan didn't. Claire stood in the hallway, watching through the cracked door. The boy sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the window. His shoulders were rigid. His hands were fists. She'd seen trauma before. But this felt different. Heavier. She walked back to the kitchen and pulled out her phone. Her first instinct was to call the police. But something stopped her. "Our father isn't a good man. Not us." What did that mean? She sat down. Opened her laptop. Typed in "missing boys Montana." Nothing recent. She tried Ethan Lucas missing children. Still nothing. Then on instinct she searched "dangerous men Riverside, Montana." The results loaded. Her breath stopped. The first article was from 3 weeks ago. A federal investigation into organized crime networks operating in the northern states. Money laundering. Extortion. Violence. And one name appeared again and again. Dominic Ashford. Claire clicked on his photo. The man staring back at her was sharp-dressed, cold-eyed, and unsettlingly calm. Mid-30s. Dark hair slicked back. A scar along his jawline. The article called him a ghost. Untouchable. Ruthless. It called him a king. Claire's hands went numb. She scrolled down. There was a smaller headline beneath the main story. Ashford's sons reportedly removed from private school, whereabouts unknown. Her stomach dropped. She looked toward the hallway. Toward the room where 2 boys were sleeping. Or trying to. She didn't sleep that night. At 6 a.m., she made breakfast. Eggs. Toast. Orange juice. The boys came out slowly, quietly. Lucas looked a little better. Ethan looked worse. They ate in silence. Claire sat across from them, hands folded. "I know who your father is." Ethan's fork stopped halfway to his mouth. "I'm not going to turn you in," she said carefully. "But I need to understand. Why did you run?" Ethan set down the fork. His voice was flat. "Because he told us to." Claire blinked. What? He said if anything ever happened, we run. We don't stop. We don't trust anyone. Ethan's eyes met hers. Except he didn't say where to go. What happened? Ethan looked at Lucas. Then back at Claire. Someone's trying to kill him. The room went cold. And if they can't find him, Ethan continued, voice shaking now, they'll come for us. Claire didn't know what to do. She sat on the porch while the boys stayed inside. The morning sun was rising, but it didn't feel warm. It felt like a countdown. Someone's trying to kill him. They'll come for us. She should call the police. She should call child services. She should do something. But every instinct she had, the ones she'd learned in 6 years of pulling kids out of bad homes, told her that involving the system right now would get these boys killed. She pulled out her phone. Her hand hovered over the screen. Then it rang. Unknown number. Her heart stopped. She answered. Silence. Then a voice. Low. Controlled. Dangerous. You have my sons. Claire's throat closed. I don't know who you are, the voice continued, but I will find you. And when I do, you'll have one chance to explain why you're still breathing. She should have hung up. She should have screamed. She should have thrown the phone into the woods. Instead, she said, they came to me. Silence. They're safe, she added. Her voice was steadier than she felt. And I'm not handing them over to someone who sounds like he's about to put a bullet in my head. A pause. Then, almost amused, you have no idea who you're talking to. Dominic Ashford, Claire said. And yeah, I do. Another pause. Longer this time. Where are you? Somewhere you're not. Miss. Claire. My name is Claire. Claire. He said it like he was tasting it. You're making a mistake. Maybe. But your sons are terrified. And until I know they're safe, I'm not giving you a damn thing. She hung up. Her hands were shaking so hard she almost dropped the phone. 10 minutes later, Ethan appeared in the doorway. That was him, wasn't it? Claire turned. Yeah. What did he say? That he's coming. Ethan's face went pale. You shouldn't have answered. He's your father. He's a criminal. Claire stood. Is he dangerous to you? Ethan hesitated. No. Not to us. But everyone around us. He trailed off. People die, Claire. That's what happens when you're close to him. Then why did he tell you to run? Because he loves us. Ethan's voice cracked. But love doesn't stop bullets. By noon, Claire had made a decision. She wasn't waiting for Dominic Ashford to show up. She was getting these boys somewhere safe. Somewhere off the grid. She packed bags. Food. Water. Cash. Then the power went out. The hum of the refrigerator died. The lights went dark. Claire froze. Ethan looked at her. He's here. How do you? The front door opened. Not kicked in. Not forced. Just opened. And Dominic Ashford walked inside. He was taller than she expected. Broader. He wore a black coat, hands in his pockets, expression unreadable. Behind him, 2 men in suits stood on the porch. Silent. Watching. Dominic's eyes swept the room. Landed on his sons. Ethan. Lucas. Lucas ran to him. Ethan stayed where he was. Dominic knelt down, pulling Lucas into his arms. His face softened, just for a second. Then it went cold again. He stood. Looked at Claire. You hung up on me. Claire's heart was pounding. You threatened me. I don't threaten. He stepped closer. I promise. She didn't move. Didn't flinch. Your sons needed help. I gave it to them. And now I'm taking them home. Where's home? A safe house? A compound? Somewhere they'll spend the rest of their childhood hiding. Dominic's jaw tightened. You don't know anything about my life. I know they were running. I know they were alone. I know you weren't there. Something flickered in his eyes. Anger. Guilt. Maybe both. I was protecting them. By abandoning them? By keeping them alive. The room went silent. Claire's voice dropped. Then who's trying to kill you? Dominic stared at her. For a long moment, he didn't answer. Then he said, everyone. Is he protecting them, or controlling them? Dominic didn't leave. Claire didn't know why. But he stood there, coat still on, eyes still cold, and he didn't move. I'm taking them, he said again. Quieter this time. Where? Claire asked. Somewhere safe. That's not an answer. It's the only one you're getting. Ethan stepped forward. Dad. Dominic's gaze shifted to his son. She helped us, Ethan said. She didn't call the cops. She didn't turn us in. She just helped. Dominic looked back at Claire. Something in his expression changed. Not softness. but recognition. Why? He asked. Claire crossed her arms. Because they're kids. And they were scared. Most people would have called 911. I'm not most people. He almost smiled. Almost. No, he said. You're not. He sat down at her kitchen table. The two men outside stayed on the porch. Lucas sat on Dominic's lap. Ethan stood near the door, arms crossed. Claire poured coffee. Her hands were still shaking, but she hid it. Dominic watched her. You were a social worker. She froze. How do you? I know everything about you, Claire Monroe. Born in Portland. Degree in social services. Worked for the state for 6 years. Burned out. Moved here 8 months ago. No family. No boyfriend. No ties. Her chest tightened. You had me investigated. In the 10 minutes between your call and my arrival, yes. She set the coffee down harder than she meant to. You're insane. I'm careful. You're paranoid. I'm alive. Silence. Claire sat down across from him. Who's trying to kill you? Dominic's eyes didn't leave hers. A rival family. Russian. They want my territory. My connections. My life. And your sons. Leverage. The word hit her like a punch. They'd take them, Dominic continued, voice flat. Torture them, send me pieces until I gave up everything I have. Then they'd kill all 3 of us anyway. Claire felt sick. So yes, Dominic said. I sent them away. I told them to run. Because the only way to keep them safe was to make sure no one could find them. But you found them. I'm their father. And the Russians? They're still looking. Claire leaned back. Her mind was racing. So what now? She asked. You take them back into hiding? Keep running forever? Until the threat is gone. And when will that be? Dominic's jaw clenched. When I end it. You mean when you kill them? He didn't deny it. Claire looked at Ethan. At Lucas. These boys deserve better than this. I know. Then give it to them. I can't. Why not? Because I'm this. His voice was sharp now. Controlled rage. I'm a killer, Claire. I'm a criminal. I've done things that would make you sick. And no matter how far I run, no matter how hard I try, that's what I am. That's what I'll always be. Claire's voice softened. That's not what they see. Dominic's eyes flickered. They see their father, she said. Someone who told them to run because he loves them. Someone who's fighting to keep them alive. He didn't respond. She leaned forward. Let me help you. No. Why not? Because everyone who helps me ends up dead. I'm not afraid of you. You should be. Maybe. Claire held his gaze. But I'm more afraid of what happens to them if you do this alone. Dominic stood. We're leaving. No. He stopped. Turned. If you take them now, Claire said, you're putting them back on the run. Back in danger. But if you let them stay here, just for a while, they'll be off the grid. Safe. Hidden. And you? I'll keep them safe. Dominic's eyes narrowed. Why would you do that? Because someone has to. He studied her. Long and hard. Then he looked at Ethan. What do you want? Ethan blinked. What? Do you want to stay here? With her? Ethan looked at Claire. Then back at his father. I want to stop running. Dominic's face didn't change. But something in his eyes did. He looked at Lucas. And you? Lucas whispered. I like it here. Dominic walked to the door. Stopped. Looked back at Claire. If anything happens to them. It won't. If it does, he said, voice like steel. I'll burn this world down to find you. Claire didn't flinch. Understood. He nodded once. Then he left. What would you do in her place? The first 3 days were the hardest. Not because of danger. Not because of fear. Because of silence. Ethan barely spoke. Lucas didn't speak at all, unless Claire asked him a direct question. They moved through the cabin like ghosts, quiet, careful, always watching the windows. Claire didn't push. She just existed beside them. She made meals. She kept the lights low at night. She let them sleep with the door cracked open. On the 4th day, Lucas asked if he could help her bake cookies. It was the first time he'd smiled. On the 5th day, Dominic called. Are they safe? Yes. Have you seen anyone? No. A pause. Good. He hung up. Claire stared at the phone. That was it. No, thank you. No, how are they doing? Just business. But on the 6th day, he called again. How's Lucas? Claire blinked. He's good. We made cookies yesterday. Silence. And Ethan? He's reading. He found your old books in the guest room. He likes history. I noticed. Another pause. Longer this time. Thank you, Dominic said quietly. Then he hung up. The calls became routine. Every night at 9 p.m. Short, controlled, but consistent. Claire started to notice things. The way his voice softened when he asked about Lucas. The way he hesitated before hanging up. The way he never asked about her, but always asked if she was safe. On the 10th day, Ethan asked, "Why are you doing this?" They were sitting on the porch. The sun was setting. Lucas was inside, drawing. Claire looked at him. "Doing what?" "Taking care of us. You don't know us. You don't owe us anything." She thought about it. "Maybe I just think everyone deserves a safe place. Even us. Especially you." Ethan's eyes went distant. "My dad, he's not a good person." "I know. But he's trying." Claire's chest tightened. "I know that too. Do you think people can change?" She looked at the horizon. "I think people can try." That night, Dominic called early. "I need to see them." Claire's heart skipped. "When?" "Tomorrow." "Here?" "Yes." "Is it safe?" "No." His voice was hard. "But I don't care." "Is this love or survival?" Dominic arrived just after dawn. No bodyguards this time. No suits. Just him. He looked different. Tired. Worn. Human. Lucas ran to him the second he walked through the door. Dominic caught him, held him tight, eyes closed. Ethan stood back, watching. Claire stayed in the kitchen. They spent the morning together. Dominic sat on the floor with Lucas, building a tower out of blocks. He asked Ethan about the books he'd been reading. For a moment, he wasn't a crime lord. He was just a father. Claire watched from the doorway. She didn't interrupt. At noon, Dominic found her outside. "Thank you," he said. "You already said that." "I'm saying it again." She turned to face him. "How long can you keep this up?" "What?" "Running. Hiding. Fighting." His jaw tightened. "As long as I have to." "And then what?" "Then I die." The words were so casual. So final. Claire's chest ached. "That's not a plan. It's reality. It doesn't have to be." He looked at her then. Really looked at her. "You don't understand," he said quietly. "I've done things, Claire. Things I can't undo. Things I don't regret. I'm not asking you to." "Then what are you asking?" "I'm asking if you want something different. For them." Dominic's eyes darkened. "Of course I do." "Then fight for it." "I am." "No." Claire stepped closer. "You're fighting to survive. That's not the same thing." He didn't respond. "They need you," she said. "Not just alive. Present. I can't be both." "You're here now, aren't you?" He stared at her. Something shifted in his expression. "Yeah," he said softly. "I am." He stayed until sunset. When it was time to leave, Lucas cried. Dominic knelt down, held his face in his hands. "I'll come back," he whispered. "I promise." "When?" "Soon." Ethan didn't cry, but his voice cracked when he said, "Be careful." Dominic pulled him into a hug. "Always." At the door, Dominic stopped. He looked at Claire. "If anything happens." "It won't." "If it does," he said, voice low, dangerous, "you take them and you run. You don't look back. You don't call the police. You just run." Claire's throat tightened. "Where?" He handed her a folded piece of paper. "Coordinates," he said. "Memorize them. Then burn this." She took it. "Dominic, promise me." She looked into his eyes. Saw the fear there. The desperation. "I promise." He nodded. Then he left. "Do you think he'll come back?" 3 days later, everything changed. It started with the phone call. Dominic's voice was sharp. Urgent. "Get them out. Now." Claire's blood went cold. "What happened?" "They found you." "How?" "I don't know. But they're coming. You have maybe 2 hours." Her hands were shaking. "Where do we go?" "The coordinates." "Don't stop. Don't trust anyone." "Dominic." The line went dead. Claire moved fast. She grabbed the boys, threw clothes into bags, stuffed food and water into a backpack. "What's happening?" Ethan asked. "We're leaving." "Why?" "Because we have to." Lucas started crying. Claire knelt down, hands on his shoulders. "Hey, look at me. We're gonna be okay. But I need you to be brave. Can you do that?" He nodded. They got into her truck. Claire started the engine. Then she saw them. 2 black SUVs. Coming up the dirt road. Fast. "Get down," she hissed. The boys dropped. Claire's mind raced. She couldn't outrun them. Not on this road. She put the truck in reverse. Slammed the gas. The SUVs sped up. She drove backward down the road, tires screaming, hands white-knuckled on the wheel. One of the SUVs pulled ahead, trying to cut her off. Claire swerved. Barely missed a tree. "Hold on." She spun the wheel, flipped the truck around, and punched the gas forward. The SUVs followed. 10 minutes of pure chaos. Dirt roads. Narrow turns. The boys silent in the back. Claire's heart was in her throat. Then she saw it. A side road. Barely visible. She yanked the wheel. The truck fishtailed. Skidded. But made the turn. The SUVs flew past. Claire didn't stop. She kept driving. Deeper into the forest. Farther from everything. An hour later, she pulled over. Her hands were still shaking. The boys climbed into the front seat. Lucas was pale. Ethan looked like he'd aged 5 years. Claire pulled out the paper Dominic had given her. Coordinates. She typed them into her phone. A location popped up. Middle of nowhere. 200 miles north. She looked at the boys. "You okay?" Lucas nodded. Ethan's voice was flat. "This is what it's always like, isn't it?" Claire's chest ached. "Yeah. Then why are you still helping us?" She didn't have a good answer. So she just said, "Because I'm not leaving you behind." "Would you keep going?" Chapter 7, The Safe House. The coordinates led them to an old hunting cabin. No electricity. No heat. Just 4 walls and a roof. But it was hidden. Off every map. Surrounded by miles of nothing. Claire parked the truck behind the cabin, covered it with branches. Inside, the boys collapsed onto the floor. Claire checked every window, every door, every possible entry point. Then she sat down. Her phone buzzed. "Dominic, are you there?" "Yes." "Good. Stay inside. Don't use lights after dark. I'll come when it's safe." "When will that be?" No response. The first night was freezing. Claire built a fire in the old stone fireplace. The boys huddled close to it, wrapped in blankets. Lucas fell asleep quickly. Ethan didn't. "My mom used to bring us to places like this," he said quietly. Claire looked at him. "Your mom? She died. 4 years ago." "I'm sorry. Cancer." Ethan stared at the fire. "Dad tried everything. Every doctor. Every treatment. But it didn't matter." Claire's throat tightened. "After she died," Ethan continued, "he changed. Got colder. Angrier. Started making decisions that scared people." "Do you think he blames himself?" "I know he does." Silence. "He loved her," Ethan said. "More than anything. And when she died, I think part of him died too." Claire didn't know what to say. So she just sat beside him. 3 days passed. No word from Dominic. Claire rationed the food. Kept the fire low. Stayed quiet. On the 4th day, Ethan asked, "Do you think he's okay?" "I don't know." "What if he doesn't come back?" Claire's chest ached. "Then we'll figure it out." "How?" "I don't know that either." Ethan looked at her. "You're scared, aren't you?" "Yeah. But you're still here." "Yeah. Why?" Claire met his eyes. "Because you're worth it." On the 5th day, the door opened. Claire grabbed the knife from the counter. Dominic stepped inside. He looked like hell. Blood on his shirt. Bruises on his face. Eyes hollow. But alive. Lucas ran to him. Dominic caught him, winced, held him anyway. Claire lowered the knife. "What happened?" Dominic's voice was rough. "I ended it." "Ended what?" "The threat." He looked at her. "They're dead. All of them." Claire's stomach turned. "You killed them?" "Yes." "How many?" "Does it matter?" She didn't answer. Dominic set Lucas down. Looked at Ethan. "It's over," he said quietly. "You're safe now." Ethan's voice cracked. "For how long?" Dominic's face fell. Because he didn't have an answer. Is he a monster, or a father? Dominic stayed. Not because it was safe. Because he couldn't leave. Claire watched him move through the cabin like a caged animal. Restless. Tense. Always watching the windows. He didn't sleep. On the 2nd night, she found him outside. Sitting on the porch. Staring into the dark. She sat beside him. "You should rest," she said. "I can't." "Why not?" "Because the second I close my eyes, I see them." Claire's voice softened. "The people you killed? The people I've been killing. For 15 years. Silence. "Do you regret it?" she asked. Dominic looked at her. "No." "Then why does it haunt you?" He didn't answer for a long time. Then he said, "Because I'm good at it." Claire's chest tightened. "I don't hesitate," Dominic continued. "I don't feel guilty. I just do it. And that should terrify me. But it doesn't." "What does terrify you?" He looked toward the cabin. toward his sons, that they'll become me. The next morning, Claire made a decision. You need to leave. Dominic looked up from the fire. What? Not forever. Just for a while. Why? Because they need to see you as more than this. I am this. No. Claire's voice was firm. You're their father. And right now, all they see is a man who kills people and runs. They need to see something else. There is nothing else. Then find it. Dominic stood. His voice was low. Dangerous. You don't get to tell me how to raise my sons. I'm not. I'm telling you how to save them. He stepped closer. You think you know me? I think you're drowning. And you're pulling them down with you. His jaw clenched. Get out of my way. No. Claire. I'm not afraid of you, Dominic. His eyes flashed. You should be. She held his gaze. I've seen what you do to your enemies. But I'm not your enemy. I'm the only person left who gives a damn about those boys as much as you do. He didn't move. So either hit me, she said quietly, or sit down and listen. He sat down. Claire pulled up a chair. You want them to have a different life, she said. Right? Yes. Then you have to give them a different example. How? Stop running. Stop hiding. Build something stable. Something real. I don't know how to do that. Then learn. Dominic's hands clenched. It's not that simple. I know, but it's necessary. Silence. What do you want me to do? He asked. Stay here. For a month. No business. No calls. No violence. Just be their dad. He looked at her like she'd lost her mind. A month, Claire repeated. That's all I'm asking. And if someone finds us? We'll deal with it. You're insane. Maybe. She leaned forward. But you're out of options. He agreed. Reluctantly. The first week was tense. Dominic didn't know what to do with himself. He paced. He checked the perimeter 20 times a day. He jumped at every sound. But slowly something shifted. He started teaching Ethan how to fish. He started reading to Lucas at night. He started eating meals with them instead of standing guard by the door. And Claire watched. On the 10th day, she found him in the kitchen. He was making breakfast. Badly. She almost laughed. Need help? He looked at her. I don't know what I'm doing. I can see that. She stepped beside him. Took the spatula. Here. Like this. Their hands brushed. Dominic froze. Claire's breath caught. They stood there. Too close. Too still. Then Dominic stepped back. Thank you, he said quietly. Claire nodded. But something had changed. Do you think this is love, or something else? It happened slowly. Small moments. A glance that lasted too long. A conversation that went deeper than it should have. A silence that felt like understanding. Claire told herself it didn't mean anything. But it did. On the 15th day, Dominic asked her, Why did you leave social work? They were sitting on the porch. The boys were asleep inside. Claire looked at the stars. I couldn't save everyone. No one can. I know. But I kept trying anyway. And eventually it broke me. Dominic's voice was soft. So you ran? Yeah. To here. To nowhere. Why nowhere? Because I thought if I was alone, I couldn't fail anyone else. Silence. But you didn't stay alone, Dominic said. Claire looked at him. No. I didn't. He told her things too. About his wife. About the life they'd planned. About the promises he'd broken. I told her I'd get out, he said one night. I told her we'd leave. Start over somewhere clean. What happened? I was too deep. And by the time I realized it, she was dying. Claire's throat tightened. I couldn't save her, Dominic said. I couldn't give her the life she deserved. So I gave her the only thing I had left. What? A promise. That I'd keep our sons safe. No matter what. You're doing that. Am I? Claire reached over. Touched his hand. He didn't pull away. Yeah, she said. You are. On the 20th day, something broke. They were arguing about something small, dinner maybe. It didn't matter. But the tension between them snapped. Dominic's voice rose. You don't get to judge me. I'm not judging you. Then what are you doing? I'm trying to asterisk help. I'm trying to help you. Claire shouted back. I didn't ask for your help. Your sons did. The words hung in the air. Dominic's face went still. Dangerous. Don't, he said quietly. Don't what? Tell you the truth? They're terrified, Dominic. Not of the Russians. Not of your enemies. Of you. His jaw clenched. That's not true. They love you. But they're scared you're going to leave and never come back. They're scared you're going to die. They're scared they're going to lose you the same way they lost their mother. Dominic turned away. Claire stepped closer. And you know what else they're scared of? Stop. That they'll never be enough. That no matter how good they are, how quiet, how obedient, it won't matter. Because you're always going to choose this life over them. That's not, his voice cracked. That's not fair. I know it's not. Claire's voice softened. Because you're doing everything you can. You're fighting. You're sacrificing. But they can't see that. All they see is a father who's always leaving. Dominic's shoulders sagged. He sat down. Put his head in his hands. I don't know how to be both, he whispered. I don't know how to keep them safe and be what they need. Claire knelt in front of him. Then stopped trying to do it alone. He looked up at her. Their faces were inches apart. Claire, let me help you. Not just with them. With this. With everything. Why would you do that? Because, she stopped. Swallowed. Because I care about them. And I. She couldn't finish. But Dominic's eyes said he understood. He reached up. Touched her face. You shouldn't, he said quietly. Shouldn't what? Care about me. Too late. His thumb traced her cheekbone. Slow. Gentle. Everyone who gets close to me gets hurt. I'm already close. Claire. I'm not afraid of you, Dominic. I'm afraid for you. Something in his expression broke. He leaned forward. Pressed his forehead against hers. They stayed like that. Breathing the same air. Not kissing. Not speaking. Just existing in the same space. I can't promise you anything, he whispered. I'm not asking you to. I can't give you a normal life. I don't want normal. His hand slid to the back of her neck. Then what do you want? This. Right now. That's enough. They didn't kiss. Not that night. But something had shifted. Something irreversible. What would you do if you were her? On the 23rd day, Ethan asked Claire a question. Do you love him? They were washing dishes. Dominic was outside with Lucas, teaching him how to skip stones. Claire's hands stilled. What? My dad. Do you love him? She didn't know how to answer. I see the way you look at each other, Ethan said quietly. I'm not stupid. Claire set down the dish. It's complicated. That's not an answer. She turned to face him. I care about him. A lot. But I don't know if that's love or just understanding. What's the difference? Claire thought about it. Love is when you choose someone even when it's hard. Understanding is when you see who they really are and don't run away. So which one is it? She looked out the window. At Dominic, laughing with Lucas. I don't know yet. Ethan nodded slowly. For what it's worth. I think he needs you. Why? Because he's different when you're around. Lighter. Like he's not carrying the whole world anymore. Claire's chest ached. He's been alone for a long time, Ethan continued. Even before Mom died. He's always been the one protecting everyone else. I don't think anyone's ever protected him. I'm not sure he'd let me. Maybe. But I think you're the only person he'd even consider it from. That night, Dominic found her by the fire. Ethan talked to you. Claire looked up. How did you? He's my son. I know when something's on his mind. Dominic sat beside her. What did he say? That you're different around me. Am I? I don't know. Are you? Dominic stared at the flames. Yes. Silence. When my wife died, he said slowly, I stopped feeling things. It was easier that way. Safer. I could make decisions without hesitation. I could do what needed to be done. He turned to Claire. But then you showed up. And suddenly I'm feeling everything again. And I don't know if that's good or dangerous. Claire's voice was soft. Maybe it's both. I can't afford both. Why not? Because feeling things makes you weak. Makes you hesitate. In my world, hesitation gets you killed. You're not in that world right now. I'm always in that world. Claire shifted closer. Then maybe it's time to find a new one. It's not that simple. I know. She looked at him. Really looked at him. But you've spent 15 years building walls. Maybe it's time to let someone in. Dominic's eyes searched hers. You don't know what you're asking. Yes, I do. If I let you in, Claire, I won't be able to let you go. And that means you'll be in danger. Always. I'm already in danger. Not like this. Then teach me. Show me how to survive in your world. He stared at her. Why would you want that? Because I'm tired of surviving in mine. He kissed her. Slow. Careful. Like she might break. Claire's breath caught. Her hands found his chest. His heartbeat was racing. When they pulled apart, his voice was rough. This changes everything. I know. There's no going back. I don't want to go back. He searched her face, looking for doubt, fear, hesitation. He found none. Claire, I'm in, Dominic. All the way. Whatever that means. His hand cupped her face. It means you're mine. And I protect what's mine. I don't need protection. I know. But you're getting it anyway. She almost smiled. That's very Mafia king of you. I'm serious. So am I. He kissed her again. Deeper this time. Less restrained. When they pulled apart, his forehead rested against hers. I don't know how to do this, he whispered. Do what? Be with someone. Without destroying them. Then we'll figure it out. Together. Is this what love looks like? The peace lasted 6 more days. Then Dominic's phone rang. He looked at the screen. His face went cold. I have to take this. He stepped outside. Claire watched through the window. Saw his posture change. Shoulders tight. Jaw clenched. When he came back inside, his eyes were different. What happened? She asked. They found one of my associates. Tortured him for information. Claire's stomach dropped. About you? About the boys. But you said it was over. You said they were all dead. I thought they were. His voice was hard. I was wrong. So what does that mean? It means we're not safe here anymore. Ethan appeared in the doorway. Lucas was right behind him. We're leaving, aren't we? Ethan asked. Dominic looked at his sons. Yes. Where? I don't know yet. Claire stepped forward. What if we don't run? Everyone looked at her. What if we end this? She said. Really end it. Not just kill whoever comes after you, but dismantle the whole thing. Every connection. Every threat. Dominic's eyes narrowed. That's not how this works. Then change how it works. Claire, you said you wanted them to have a different life. This is that choice. Either you keep running forever, or you burn it all down and start over. Burning it down could take months, years. And in the meantime, we stay together. We stay smart. And we don't give them a target. Dominic stared at her. You have no idea what you're suggesting. Then explain it to me. He did. That night, after the boys were asleep, Dominic laid it all out. The structure of his organization. The enemies. The alliances. The money. The power. If I dismantle this, he said, I'm not just giving up my empire. I'm putting a target on every person I've ever worked with. They'll come after me. After us. So what's the alternative? I hand it over. Let someone else take control. And you think they'll just let you walk away? No. But it's better than starting a war. Claire leaned forward. What if you didn't start a war? What if you ended one? How? By making a deal. The plan was insane. Dominic would contact every major player in his network. Offer them a choice. Take what he was willing to give or lose everything. It's a power vacuum, Claire said. If you leave, someone's going to fill it. But if you control who fills it, you control the outcome. And you think they'll agree to this? I think they'll agree to not dying. Dominic almost smiled. You sound like a criminal. I was a social worker. Same skill set. It took 3 days to set up. Dominic made calls. Sent messages. Arranged meetings. Claire watched him work. Saw the way he commanded attention. The way people feared him. Respected him. But she also saw the way he looked at his sons when he thought no one was watching. The way he held her hand when he was scared. The way he was trying. On the 4th day, he told her, it's done. What is? The deal. They're taking the business. All of it. In exchange, I'm out. Clean. No retaliation. Claire's heart jumped. You're serious? Yes. And they agreed? They had no choice. I made sure of it. She stepped closer. What did you do? Dominic's eyes were dark. I gave them enough information to destroy each other. If anyone comes after me, everyone else goes down with them. Mutually assured destruction. That's insane. I know. But it's the only way. Claire touched his face. You did it. Not yet. We have to disappear first. New names. New lives. No connections to the past. Can you do that? I've done worse. They left the next morning. 4 bags. 1 truck. No plan except to drive until they found somewhere safe. Somewhere far. Somewhere new. Lucas fell asleep in the back seat. Ethan stared out the window. Claire sat beside Dominic in the front. Her hand in his. You okay? She asked. Ask me in 6 months. Fair enough. He glanced at her. You're really doing this. Leaving everything behind. I didn't have much to leave. You had a life. I had a cabin in the woods. Now I have this. She squeezed his hand. That's enough. Dominic's throat worked. I don't deserve you. Probably not. But you're stuck with me anyway. He almost smiled. Then he looked in the rearview mirror. At his sons. You think they'll be okay? I think they'll be better than okay. Because they have you. And you. And me. Would you have left everything for them? 6 months later. They were living in a small town in Oregon. Population, 2,400. Dominic worked at a hardware store. Claire opened a bakery. Ethan started school. Made friends. Joined the chess club. Lucas drew pictures. Laughed more. Stopped checking the windows at night. They were a family. But some nights, Claire would wake up and find Dominic standing by the window. Can't sleep, she'd ask. Just checking. They're not coming. I know. But he'd check anyway. On a Tuesday afternoon, a man walked into the bakery. Expensive suit. Cold eyes. Claire's blood went cold. Can I help you? She asked. The man smiled. Just looking. He bought a coffee. Left a $50 bill. Keep the change. When Dominic came home, Claire told him. His face went hard. Did he say anything? No. But he knew. How? I could see it in his eyes. Dominic's hands clenched. We need to leave. No. Claire. No. Her voice was firm. We're not running anymore. If he knows, then they all know. And running won't change that. Then what do you want me to do? I want you to trust the deal you made. And if it doesn't hold? Claire stepped closer. Then we fight. Together. The man came back the next day. This time Dominic was there. They stared at each other. Long and hard. Then the man smiled. Your boys are handsome. The older one looks like you. Dominic's voice was ice. If you touch them. Relax. The man held up his hands. I'm not here to threaten. I'm here to deliver a message. From who? Everyone. The man leaned against the counter. The deal holds. You're out. We're respecting that. But there's a condition. What condition? You stay out. No coming back. No second thoughts. No one last job. You're done, Ashford. Completely. Dominic's jaw tightened. I don't plan on coming back. Good. Because if you do, the deal is void. And we come for everything. Your sons. Your woman. Your life. Claire stepped beside Dominic. He won't. The man looked at her. And you are. His reason not to. The man studied her. Then he smiled. Interesting. He set down another 50. Good coffee. Then he left. That night, Dominic held Claire so tight it hurt. I thought it was over, he whispered. It is. Then why do I still feel like this? Because you spent 15 years looking over your shoulder. That doesn't disappear overnight. Will it ever? I don't know. But I'll be here while you figure it out. He pulled back. Looked at her. I love you. The words were quiet. Raw. Claire's eyes burned. I know. Say it back. I love you too. He kissed her. Desperate. Grateful. When they pulled apart, he pressed his forehead to hers. Thank you, he whispered. For what? For seeing me. Not what I was. Not what I did. Just me. You're worth seeing. Am I? Yeah. You are. Is this the ending they deserve? Claire stood in the bakery, flour on her hands, smile on her face. Lucas ran in after school. Mom, I got an A on my project. Mom. She'd been hearing that word for 6 months now. It still made her chest ache in the best way. That's amazing, sweetheart. Go show your dad. Lucas ran into the back room where Dominic was fixing a shelf. Claire watched through the doorway. Dominic knelt down, looked at the project, smiled. That smile. The one he saved for his sons. For her. The one that said he was home. Ethan was 16 now. Taller than Dominic. Quieter. But stronger. He worked at the bakery on weekends. Helped with deliveries. One Saturday he asked Claire, Do you ever regret it? Regret what? Giving up your old life. For us. Claire set down the dough she was kneading. Not once. Really? Really? She looked at him. You know what I had before you? A cabin. Silence. No one to care about. No one to care about me. That's not a life, Ethan. That's just existing. And now I have everything. Ethan's eyes were bright. Thank you. For what? For not giving up on us. On him. Claire pulled him into a hug. I never could have. That night, Claire and Dominic sat on the porch of their small house. Lucas was asleep inside. Ethan was reading. The town was quiet. Safe. Dominic's hand found hers. Do you think they're really gone? He asked. Yes. How do you know? Because we've been here 2 years and nothing's happened. They've moved on. We're ghosts to them now. Dominic nodded slowly. Good. Silence. I never thought I'd have this, he said quietly. What? Peace. Claire squeezed his hand. You deserve it. So do you. She leaned her head on his shoulder. We built something good, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Inside, Lucas was dreaming about dragons. Ethan was reading about the French Revolution. Claire and Dominic were watching the stars. And for the first time in 15 years, no one was running. No one was hiding. No one was afraid. They were just a family. Broken. Rebuilt. Whole. The end. But before you go, drop a comment. Did you see the twist coming? Would you have trusted him? What would you have done? And if you loved this story, there's more where this came from. Stay tuned. Red Heart.